want to promote your business? Do you want to talk about your nonprofit organization? Do you want to talk about your culture? Introducing the online web TV, Africa Today. Log in. You can watch us live at the same time on 4 platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and using the Africa Today app. Download our app today for Android or Apple. Promote your business today. For more information, go to www.africtoday.com. Africa Today, the best of digital TV. ESYDA returned to play summer clinics. Recreation, Tuesday and Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. Travel team, EDP, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Free mask and water bottle. Register today at esYDA.org. Email info@ESYDA. Phone 248-765-9369. Office 301-800-7848. Toll free 800-995-5532. Free registration for all summer clinics. All new players need by uniforms. We're following COVID-19 soccer guidelines. Small group practice with 9 players and 1 coach. For more information, go to esYDA.org.
Looking to start a rewarding career? Call Gandhi Healthcare today to earn your certification as a nursing assistant, dental assistant, pharmacy technician, phlebotomy technician, and many more. We offer no interest payment plans, scholarships, and tuition reimbursements for those that qualify. Located right in the heart of Pikesville on Reicherstown Road and McHenry Avenue in the Pikesville Shopping Center. It offers immediate access from 695, accessible to public transportation on the 83 and 89 bus line. We offer morning, evening, and weekend classes to fit your schedule. Earn your certification in as little as 5 weeks. We are now offering classes online and on-site. Hurry, classes start soon, so enroll today. Visit us online at gandhihealthcare.com or call 443-352-8030.
L'entrepreneuriat digital vous intéresse-t-il? Vous voulez apprendre à construire des projets digitaux? Aimeriez-vous gagner des revenus passifs conséquents en tout lieu? Voici la plateforme des professionnels du digital, la Diasporan Academy. Ici, vous retrouverez les meilleurs professionnels de la diasporama mondiale connectés sur notre plateforme. Vous allez pouvoir acquérir des formations adéquates qui feront de vous des entrepreneurs digitaux compétents. Étudiants, entrepreneurs, coachs, instructeurs et entreprises, Diasporan Academy est une opportunité pour vous. Elle vous offre la possibilité de suivre votre formation en mode virtuel à partir de chez vous, où que vous soyez sur la planète. Toutes nos formations disponibles en ligne sont dispensées de manière interactive. Il suffit de vous inscrire et vous pourrez les suivre depuis chez vous. Au cours de la formation, vous passerez des quiz et examens selon votre parcours. En outre, à partir de votre tableau de bord, vous suivrez vos performances et progressions. Vous pourrez aussi communiquer avec vos instructeurs et recevoir des notifications. À la fin de votre parcours de formation, vous recevrez un certificat Diasporan Academy Certified. Que vous soyez débutant ou responsable d'entreprise, Diasporan Academy est une opportunité pour vous. Saisissez-la! Enfin, que vous soyez coach ou instructeur, ayez accès à un millier d'étudiants à travers notre plateforme. Merci de choisir Diasporan Academy, le meilleur choix. Pour plus d'informations, allez sur www.diasporacademy.com. Diasporan Academy, la plateforme des professionnels du digital.
Hello. Welcome to the African Diaspora Grassroots Voting on africtoday.com, the leading digital television network out of Washington, D.C. I am your host, Busi Matsiko Anden, live from our studio in New York. Today we're going to have an amazing time discussing what you can do to prepare yourself for the 2020 US elections. We're going to have an amazing guest on this show today. You can watch us on 4 platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on our website, www.africtoday.com. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Today we have an amazing guest, Mr. Malik Lendzondzo. Mr. Malik, welcome.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you today.
Thank you for having me, Busia. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure being here with you on Africa Today.
Wonderful. Yes, Mr. Malik, I'm going to go over your bio. You have an extensive bio, which everyone, the audience, needs to listen to, and especially as we're going into these important elections. Mr. Malik, is it okay to call you Malik?
No problem. No problem.
Because I know you're Mr. Arian Lendzondzo, but you're affectionately known as Malik. And
That's
so
correct.
I was just like, all right. So so Malik is the founder and CEO of Global Affairs Network LLC. He's a former Maryland House of Representative candidate. He's a business developer and a VIP promoter. Malik was born in Gabon, a small country situated on the equator in West Africa. He earned his BA degrees in political science and economics from Howard University in Washington, D.C. Malik also holds a Master's of Science degree in Information Systems with a concentration in security. He has worked in the educational sector for 12 years, first as a foreign language instructor, then as a Data Analyst Manager. He has been involved in political activities since high school, back in his native country of Gabon, and has continued to be active in the US. He was actively involved as a political organizer through his engagement in the electoral processes of many campaign elections. One of the most historical elections to date involved countless hours volunteering in the 2008 election that made President Barack Obama the first African American president of the United States. On a local level, Malik continued grassroots work from the gubernatorial and senatorial elections for the state of Maryland. Malik has been an active member of the Montgomery County Young Democrats. He served as a precinct chair for the Democratic Party in Montgomery County, Maryland, District 20. Malik created Global Affairs Network LLC to connect African businesses, political, social, and social actors to American experts in a variety of sectors required by our African partners, including direct and indirect investment of human and financial capital. Global Affairs Network LLC, also known as GAN, works together with local experts to support partners around the world by delivering first-class services to governments, businesses, and non-profit organizations. What a lengthy biography, Malik. And Malik, we're going in the next segment, you're going to tell us more about who Malik is what drives you, and how you got to this place in politics. Stay tuned. Welcome back, folks. I am just going to ask Malik an array of questions which I believe are essential and critical for you to know going into this 2020 US elections. Mr. Malik, tell us about yourself. I would like to know, I mean, you come highly recommended. That's why you're on this show. You've done a lot the grassroots level as a community organizer in the DMV area, that is the Washington, DC area. So please tell us more about yourself and how you've gotten to this place and what makes you Malik.
First of all, Busi, what a pleasure to be with you today. I want to thank you for that wonderful introduction. I mean, sometimes it takes somebody else to go through some of the stuff that you've been doing for you to realize that you've been on the ground for a long time. The one thing I can add, though, to that introduction is the fact that I actually created a platform called the African Voting Bloc. So that's to add to that wonderful introduction that you made. My name is Malik, as you said in the introduction. Was born in a small country called Gabon. Native country is called Gabon. I've been in the US for the last 20 years.
Is that where Oliver Goma is from?
Oh, wow. Yes. So yes, the love of politics, started from Gabon since high school. So I knew, pretty good that that's what I wanted to do. It's been quite a passion to me. Although when I came to the United States after my education training, studied as an educator and then data analyst, like you said. But the passion for politics has always been like a ghost. It's always haunted my spirit. So I always want to do politics. So while being an educator, working for the school system, I actually stayed in political engagement. Organizing my very first election was actually quite of an event, because when I became a citizen, that was also the same year Barack Obama was running for president. So that was quite an experience for me to just dive into this political process in the United States. And ever since, it's been a wonderful experience. Organizing a couple of years ago, I was the Diversity Leadership Council chair for the state of Maryland, as far as the continent African community is concerned. So I've represented the political party, the Democratic Party, at the highest level when it comes to the community level. So yeah, I'm a father, husband, like you say, entrepreneur, a politician, if you will, but also somebody who loves people and we're always trying to do the best thing to push the agenda of our people, our community, and to participate in making America the best place for everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that insight on you, because it gives us context to your drive and to your advocacy. And one of the things before I want to also go into, I think it's important that we learn more about the African voting bloc, because it mirrors what our show is about. That is the African diaspora grassroots voting. So tell us, when did you start the African voting bloc, and to date, how many members have you garnered?
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, now, in 2018, I run as the Democratic delegates in District 20. So it is during that process that I really understood the importance of us being involved in the democratic process, to participate in this democratic process here in the United States. I also realized that there's a lot of us here in the United States, but very, very, very few involvement in the democratic process. So that was there. So after the election, since I didn't win for many reasons, and part of that was that we were not as galvanized as we were supposed to be. And given the fact that here in Maryland, we have one of the highest population when it comes to African immigrants. So that was a shock for me to know that the participation in the political process, in the electoral process, was very, very little. So after that election, that's where I launched the African voting bloc, so that we can galvanize all African immigrants, and also the African American, because this is not just, when I say African here, this is not just the African immigrant. My effort is bring both African American, Native African American, and the immigrant African American together to that coalition, so that we can understand that we have the same experience. You know, whether you're born here or you are immigrants, we are facing actually the same similar challenges, except that I would like for African immigrants to be more involved, because although we share the same experience in America, we go even beyond. Like, you know, when you're immigrants, you have even more challenges. You not only have the African American experience, but you have on top of that, you also have the African American immigrant and challenges that you have to add on top of that. So for you, it's like you have to be. It's a requirement. It's a must. You have to be involved in this political process, understanding that you know, it's very important that your voice be heard, and given the fact that we all gone through one of the most important election, the coming election 2020, where we have to make our voice heard. So when I see people like yourself, the work that you do with a variety of other leaders in our community, it is you know, beautiful to see that, and just to continue to work so that we can be synchronizing all those energies all around the country, not just here in Maryland or New York, just all over the country. So as far as the membership, it's quite a lot of people now. We are over 200 people, leaders. I'm not talking about just people who are, well, yeah.
It's so interesting. I was just going to ask you a question that was leading into that as well, and I'm glad you're bringing it up. And it was around people running for office. How do we encourage people to run for office? Because sometimes to affect change, you have to participate to run for office. You can't make a difference if people don't run for office. So I think that could also fall under your African voting bloc. Does it in any way? Just
yes.
Educate me.
No, part of the effort here is to remind folks that we as immigrants, our job is not just to vote for other people. You know, we have to be able to be organized and mobilize our own people so that we can be, investing in ourselves, because they say nobody can serve you better than yourself. Somebody always say, if you're not if you're not on the table, the decision-making table, you are on the menu. So you don't want to be on the menu.
Absolutely.
Right. So we've been on the menu for so long. It's about time for us to be on a table where we can, require or even ask or demand what we deserve. Because, you know, I'm not going to teach you about our experience with America. We have a very, very deep relationship. African people, we do have a really, really, really deep and complicated relationship with America. But so far, you don't see strong voices rising up in the political arena and demand and in the relationship with our brothers and sisters, the Native African American, building a serious coalition that we have to understand that this relationship with America have to be known, and we have to be having an honest conversation, and that is only possible if we have our own running for offices. So the African voting bloc is a way to remind America that we're here to stay, we're here to contribute greatly, not only by voting, but we're here to actually invest in ourselves so that we can be the change that we are looking for.
Fantastic. I mean, I think what you're saying is many people have not heard that angle, and people talk about it in conversations, but it's not publicized. And I think it's important that we begin to hear more of these experiences like you are sharing right now, so that people, the diasporans, understand that, you know what, it's okay to think of running for office. You don't have to be part of the menu, as you said. You can be an agent of change, And I commend people such as yourself, Malik, for standing up and running for office. And not only that, for also galvanizing people, the bloc, to push for different, to push for different facets in which you can be involved in the political or democratic process.
Absolutely.
I'm curious about one thing, because we don't usually hear this much, and I've heard this from Africa. I usually hear about the HBCUs from African Americans. What was your experience as an African attending an HBCU, and how has it impacted you?
Hey, listen, HU, I have to represent Howard University. Listen, we call Howard University the Mecca. If you're a Black intellectual, Black whatever, if you've never been to Howard University, it's like you're a Muslim, you've never been to the Mecca. So it embodies the excellence in the Black knowledge and the Black intellectual. So I was privileged, to go to Howard as an undergraduate, study political science and economics. As a matter of fact, Howard experience shaped really who I am as a person, who I am as a political activist, because you couldn't escape political activity on Howard campus. I remember for the first time I saw, it was in 2001, President Bush was trying to galvanize people to go on the war on Iraq, and it was a very unpopular war. And me being on the campus at that time, seeing how a student was mobilized and organized to even protest against one of the most powerful men on planet Earth, it was quite an experience for me. It's like that was the baptism for me. It's like, wow, this is quite impressive. I still remember that, it's been maybe more than 20 years or something, but I still remember that as one of the most powerful events that happened as a student. So the experience is one of the most powerful, because, and also the teachers, going to Howard University to learn more about Africa than when I was on the continent in terms of political strategy and all that kind of stuff. So, you would never be the same. Howard University is a place to be. And I've learned so much from that place. As a matter of fact, like I told you, my life as being a political activist was shaped by me being among those individuals that high intelligence and the love on the campus. It's the first time you can see all Black from every shape. From Germany, from Cuba, from Colombia, from everywhere. Being African American or African period was such a great, beautiful experience. So I will recommend anybody that would like to to be a part of this world, to at least once in your lifetime go and be a part of HBC campus, or even choose Howard for that matter, because for me that was the best experience.
Would you let your kids? Would you want your kids to go to an HBCU, or you're open to that?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's that. Even like even if you have other idea going somewhere, maybe a graduates you want to choose. My first recommendation would be that you have to, especially because I went to Howard, I would recommend my kids to go to Howard. And just talking about Howard, you know, there's this African basketball player, the son of this Sudanese guy, Ball.
Malik Ball.
His son is actually a very brilliant, basketball player from high school. Because guess what? He chose Howard instead of going to any other place like most of the players. He chose Howard because we want to change the narrative. To show that we can be proud within our own organization, and we can thrive as well as Black people, supporting our own institutions. And that's the beauty of America. You don't have to trying to be somebody else. You can be yourself and still make it to the American dreams.
Okay, I'm curious to know your take on a matter that is currently hot in the airways all over the place, and that is with regards to Black Lives Matter, and people saying all lives matter, as well as another take on it with regards to, if you're pro Black Lives Matter, some people think you're anti-police, or another thing about protesting and looters being put in the same place, as an African, because sometimes some of these issues have not directly affected Africans, and the diaspora is beginning to wake up to some of these situations. And I mean, like the unfortunate, we are hearing more and more diasporans who have also fallen victim to these incidents. Like, for instance, there's a U.S. truck, I think a coach or something, who in Indiana, who happened to have run to the rescue of somebody when he happened to be like 6'5", and he was tasered multiple times, and he unconscious, and it took up a couple of days before the family got to know about it. He happens to be Nigerian, and his mother said she always thought people brought problems upon themselves until her son was a victim of this, especially since her kids grew up in the burbs, predominantly white burbs, and then she was surprised that her son, who even had a master's, would be in such a situation. The charges, fortunately, were dropped. So what would you, I think what I'm saying is a very loaded, you would probably understand what I'm talking about, because I'm touching on so many different areas. You as Malik, who has been raised in Africa, whereby some of the things are very conservative. However, you experience as a Black man in America, yet you're African. It's a very crowded, I know someone would say, oh, Busi, you're probably asking too many things in one question, but I just want to make it as I want to trigger your mind to talk to a diasporan out there, or to talk to an ally out there who does not know who does not empathize with the African American or the Black man for that matter, and how would you try to condense it into something that could be understood and comprehended more easily? I mean, easily.
Well, Busia, listen, that's you just put a finger on one of the most important, one of the most pressing issue of our time. You can call it Black Lives Matter or not, but the fact of the matter is there is a reason why there's a requirement or there's a demand that Black or African bodies, because if you take that word apart, just say African Lives Matter, you first have to ask your question, why do we need to even say that? Why do we need to say African Lives Matter? Because of the history that we do have with this country. African people, that particular specific group of people that helped to make America one of the shining city on the hill, is actually a people that went through so much and continue to go through so much. Most of those African descent or African people in America never have a chance to really live the life as a full citizen from the start. So we went from being war prisoners, you can call them slaves, war prisoners, to half of people, and then full people, and then we have to fight for our citizenship, to be a human being or to be American. So all of this process, you would never hear something like All Lives Matter. Why we didn't discuss it? Why America, especially our brothers, who are against that, Black Lives Matter slogan or whatever group. If that was not necessary, why is that we never have All Lives Matter since the beginning of this country? We were not citizens. We were not human. So it's a process. But now that most of us have that right to be full citizenship, we are still facing with what you call racism. And this is after the fact that the Jim Crow is over, because that's you slave, and then you go through a Jim Crow, and then after that you still have to face with racism, like systematic racism. So when people say all lives matter, what you have to understand as a political strategist is that we always been faced with that kind of tactic to keep our struggle not important, to keep us continue to dismiss us as a community of people. Because if you even see the laws that this country have made since the beginning, you will have, for example, people telling you, I think the 13th Amendment in the Constitution, saying that no human being supposed to be held as a slave against his will or against her will. Now, guess what? There's always a loophole. They're going to say, except if you're a prisoner. What does that mean? That means that, everybody else are not supposed to be held as a prisoner, as a slave. But if you become a prisoner, then the government, the institution of the institution of imprisonment, can actually treat you as a slave. Now, going from that law, the law of the land, you have to ask yourself, who are the people that are mostly or more likely to go to jail to become president? The prison population is so ridiculous, it's uncomfortable even for Americans to talk about it. Okay, so if America represents 5% of the world population, we have 25% of the people of the global population that are in jail and prison in America. So now you have to, that's the reality, right? And then you have to also break down into who are the dominant prisoners. You will see that it's black and brown people. So, brown people is just a political way to say, they just look a little bit lighter than black. So literally, these are the black people, African descent, that will dominate the population, the prison population. Now, if you go back to the law, then you understand that loophole of you can be held as a slave if you're a prisoner, then you will understand why is that it's easier for us, the African people, to go to jail. And once you're in jail, guess what? What is wrong or right, the right way, once you're in jail, you are actually messed up for the rest of your life, even if you have already paid your debt to society. So you became worse, even worse than a slave, because you come back to the land of opportunity, but you cannot even participate as a full citizenship. You cannot have a loan, you cannot vote, you're not a citizen, period. So you cannot enjoy the American dream. So all of this, we have to really understand how the laws affect us. And when people come and say, oh, all lives matter, it's a trickery. We have to see it as a trickery. Like, if you look deeper, you know that even laws created by the government is always a little loophole in it, that if you don't look it closely, you don't even know. So if you become a prisoner, the government or the prison industrial complex can use you as a slave. So now you can understand why it's easy for us to go to jail. So when you're there, you're gonna do all kind of stuff. You're not even a human being no more. They can hold you in a cage. They can treat you the way they treat you. You can work for free because the law is saying you actually have no right anymore. Now, why is that African people or the African American immigrants population, why is it so important for us to really step up? Because these people from the start is us. Those slaves, they were not African American, they were African. They were African people. So I have a hard time to really understand the disconnect. How can you don't understand that this is us? When a police officer see me walking down the street, they're not gonna see this is Malik is a African American immigrant, or this is Johnny is African American native. We all African, Black people. So from that perspective, you have the obligation to really, really fight to make this place a better place. Now, one more thing. People only wake up right now because now they see that, stories kind of, here and there, when you put all those stories together, you find out that even us, the immigrants, we are a part of this oppressive, we also are part of this oppressive society. I don't know if you know about Amadou
Mr.
Diallo.
Malik, let us come back after the break and you will tell us more about that point. Let's stay tuned.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
ESYDA returned to play summer clinics. Recreation, Tuesday and Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. Travel team, EDP, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Free mask and water bottle. Register today at esYDA.org. Email info@ESYDA. Phone 248-765-9369. Office 301-800-7848. Toll free 800-995-5532. Free registration for all summer clinics. All new players need buy uniforms. We're following COVID-19 soccer guidelines. Small group practice with 9 players and 1 coach. For more information, go to esyda.org.
L'entrepreneuriat digital vous intéresse-t-il? Vous voulez apprendre à construire des projets digitaux? Aimeriez-vous gagner des revenus passifs conséquents en tout lieu? Voici la plateforme des professionnels du digital, la Diasporan Academy. Ici, vous retrouverez les meilleurs professionnels de la diasporama mondiale connectés sur notre plateforme. Vous allez pouvoir acquérir des formations adéquates qui feront de vous des entrepreneurs digitaux compétents. Étudiants, entrepreneurs, coachs, instructeurs et entreprises, Diasporan Academy est une opportunité pour vous. Elle vous offre la possibilité de suivre votre formation en mode virtuel à partir de chez vous, où que vous soyez sur la planète. Toutes nos formations disponibles en ligne sont dispensées de manière interactive. Il suffit de vous inscrire et vous pourrez les suivre depuis chez vous. Au cours de la formation, vous passerez des quiz et examens selon votre parcours. En outre, à partir de votre tableau de bord, vous suivrez vos performances et progressions. Vous pourrez aussi communiquer avec vos instructeurs et recevoir des notifications. À la fin de votre parcours de formation, vous recevrez un certificat Diasporan Academy Certified. Que vous soyez débutant ou responsable d'entreprise, Diasporan Academy est une opportunité pour vous. Saisissez-la. Enfin, que vous soyez coach ou instructeur, ayez accès à un millier d'étudiants à travers notre plateforme. Merci de choisir Diasporan Academy, le meilleur choix. Pour plus d'informations, allez sur www.diasporacademy.com. Diasporan Academy, la plateforme des professionnels du digital.
Welcome back to African Diaspora Grassroots Voting. I am your host, Busi Matiko Anden, and we have Mr. Malik Lendzondzo, who's been amazing during this period. Mr. Malik, welcome back.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, you had mentioned something about Amadou Diallo. However, maybe we could talk about. I feel we might have to have another session with you, going into heavy details of what the community can do with regards to voting and how your recommendations for this. But right now, continue your trend of thought, and we will continue on quite a few other things I need to touch base with you, because you've been electrifying today.
Right. No, the relationship with that case in 1999.
Oh, I can't hear you. Your volume is.
Yeah, I have more time.
Hello?
You hear me?
Okay. I can hear you a bit. Okay, continue.
Okay. Yeah. So I was just trying to make a connection with that case, 1999, the Amadou Diallo case, with the fact that we have to understand that this is just African American or African immigrants. It's all of us, because that case show you that it doesn't matter where you are American born or American by choice. We all suffer the same reality. That's why in this election we need to really make sure that our voice is heard. We have to organize and mobilize so that we can make an impact. But beyond that, mobilizing for voting, we also have to understand that the best way to serve our community, to change those laws, like this guy was that young boy that I was mentioning, Amadou Diallo, he was a guy from parents were from Guinea, so he was shot in New York, and over like a 41 bullet in his body. One can wonder how many bullets it takes for you to kill an armed person, an armed black man. But all of this is that if we need change, then we have to be involved. We have to be involved in the political process, not only in voting. Voting is good, but if you really want to make a difference, you want to make sure you are a part of this decision-making operation. You have to be on the table.
Fantastic, fantastic. And so how can we organize our community for this coming election?
Well, many ways. First of all, you have to be involved in current issues. I've seen people wondering why they should be marching with, this movement that is people gathering around the issues of police brutality. You have to be able to help in that capacity so that we can change the laws. And once you involve, the more you become a little bit sensitive about what needs to be done. Now, you have to be also a part of the conversation. Like, sometimes if you live in some areas, for example, here in Montgomery County, each time you're going to see our elected officials having meetings and talking about us. But when you see the list of people that participate in listening what they have to say, even to ask questions, for the most part, we are very absent. We're not there. Montgomery County, the council members, they have those meetings almost all the time, but our people are not really involved. No, they I don't know if they are not interesting or they don't have the information that is supposed to be available for them. But if you're really interested in making some change, you have to go toward the information. You have to seek knowledge. You have to be able to talk to your political elected officials in your area. So we have to make sure we go to those meetings, understand what's going on, what law is being put in place, and then we can understand how to galvanize our people around those issues. Because one thing is to say people, to register and the census are there. Yeah, it's important. All of this process is important. Making sure that you're counted. The census will give you a chance to be known. And if you want to request for any help from the government, they want to know how many of you. But because at the end of the day, they want to know how many of you live in a certain area, and how many of you are capable of participating in this electoral process. Yeah. So register. That's number one. Register, but trying to know more about your community, know about your issues. That way, when you go voting, you not just go and vote. You go and say, I'm giving my voice to you because I know what you up to, what you defend. As soon most of us vote during the presidential election, not knowing that the local election was actually more important than the presidential one. Because this is a federal system. You probably, I'm a Democrat, I'm probably gonna galvanize and encourage people to vote for the Democratic Party or whoever is the candidate, Mr. Joe Biden for this matter. But you also have to understand that what do you get back as a citizen, as a community? Those questions have to be on the table. But how can you go and advocate for those issues to be heard, to be respected? So that's why we created the African Voting Bloc, so people can respect our voice and can start a conversation with us.
In closing, I want to ask you something regarding what your role as the Maryland State African representative on the African continent entails. Are you still the representative of the?
No. Actually, I was a former candidate. I ran for representative, but unfortunately, I didn't have the support necessary to win. I didn't win, actually.
That's where you see, and that's why it's important that diasporans need to know what's out there, because look at you, how enthusiastic, how passionate you are, and how knowledgeable you are. We need more voices such as yourself to be the voice of the voiceless. I mean, in wrapping up, I can't thank you enough for what an amazing dialogue you have given today. You know, we can't wait to have you back. And folks, thank you so much, Mr. Malik, for coming. And I want to thank the audience for staying tuned and watching on afriquetoday.com. Please come back next week on Wednesday at 6 to 7 p.m. as we continue our African diaspora grassroots voting leading up to the US 2020 elections. Thank you and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
L'entrepreneuriat digital vous intéresse-t-il? Vous voulez apprendre à construire des projets digitaux? Aimeriez-vous gagner des revenus passifs conséquents en tout lieu? Voici la plateforme des professionnels du digital, la Diasporan Academy. Ici, vous retrouverez les meilleurs professionnels de la diasporama mondiale connectés sur notre plateforme. Vous allez pouvoir acquérir des formations adéquates qui feront de vous des entrepreneurs digitaux compétents. Étudiants, entrepreneurs, coachs, instructeurs et entreprises, Diasporan Academy est une opportunité pour vous. Elle vous offre la possibilité de suivre votre formation en mode virtuel à partir de chez vous, où que vous soyez sur la planète. Toutes nos formations disponibles en ligne sont dispensées de manière interactive. Il suffit de vous inscrire et vous pourrez les suivre depuis chez vous. Au cours de la formation, vous passerez des quiz et examens selon votre parcours. En outre, à partir de votre tableau de bord, vous suivrez vos performances et progressions. Vous pourrez aussi communiquer avec vos instructeurs et recevoir des notifications. À la fin de votre parcours de formation, vous recevrez un certificat Diasporan Academy Certified. Que vous soyez débutant ou responsable d'entreprise, Diasporan Academy est une opportunité pour vous. Saisissez-la! Enfin, que vous soyez coach ou instructeur, ayez accès à un millier d'étudiants à travers notre plateforme. Merci de choisir Diasporan Academy, le meilleur choix. Pour plus d'informations, allez sur www.diasporacademy.com. Diasporan Academy, la plateforme des professionnels du digital.
ESYDA returned to play summer clinics. Recreation, Tuesday and Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. Travel team, EDP, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Free mask and water bottle. Register today at esyda.org. Email info@esyda. Phone 248-765-9369. Office 301-800-7848. Toll free 800-995-5532. Free registration for all summer clinics. All new players need buy uniforms. We're following COVID-19 soccer guidelines. Small group practice with 9 players and 1 coach. For more information, go to esyda.org.
Looking to start a rewarding career? Call Gandhi Healthcare today to earn your certification as a nursing assistant, dental assistant, pharmacy technician, phlebotomy technician, and many more. We offer no interest payment plans, scholarships, and tuition reimbursements for those that qualify. Located right in the heart of Pikesville on Reisterstown Road and McHenry Avenue in the Pikesville Shopping Center. It offers immediate access from 695 accessible to public transportation on the 83 and 89 bus lines. We offer morning, evening, and weekend classes to fit your schedule. Earn your certification in as little as 5 weeks. We are now offering classes online and on-site. Hurry, classes start soon, so enroll today. Visit us online at gandhihealthcare.com or call 443-352-8030.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to talk about your nonprofit organization? Do you want to talk about your culture? Introducing the online web TV, Africa Today. Fogham, where you can watch us live at the same time on 4 platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and using the Africa Today app. Download our app today for Android or Apple. Promote your business today. For more information, go to www.africtoday.com. Africa Today, the best of digital TV.
Jamais, nous disons stop à la vente de nos terres. Jamais, ne cédons pas au chantage et belles paroles. L'héritage que nos ancêtres nous ont légué, les voitures et maisons, pour assurer la survie de nos familles. C'est la forêt et la terre. Missy et Bord, elle est baillon c'est ma eie. Missy Benoni te heni, elle est baillon c'est ma eie. Makubasia na koma mboma nyoko na bekafe na bikoko none umo somo sanga ulia toyanaka obonongo yosumise imundongo abonisa sakonane non à la vente des terres. Mokati isunu ni fala abanisa tuyana kobonanga tobonanga salaba tobe munu moti batakaka obusi élevons nos voix chantons sur tous les toits pour que demain soit plus clair. Si t'entends ma voix, la voix des sans-voix, ce qu'on a de plus cher, ce sont nos terres.
le peuple une partie du temps, mais on ne peut tromper tout le peuple tout le temps. Oui au développement, non à l'exode rural.
Diasporan Banen, chef traditionnel élite, fils et filles, que chacun apporte sa pierre à l'édifice. Mounani Moundamoto.
Non à la vente des terres, Banen. Non à la vente des terres, Banen. Non à la vente
peuple Banen.
des terres, Banen.
Tous nous sommes interpellés.
Non à la vente
Soyons unis.
des terres, Banen. Non à la vente
Bonani petit me patenem.
Banen.
Mon katou motin so sini for lock.
Non à la vente
Mon ani foyer moi.
Nous remercions le collectif des artistes Banen et son président, Monsieur Écombile Vincent Olivier, pour sa lutte acharnée pour le réveil de la culture Banen.